To graph this, we would like for this equation to be written in slope-intercept, which is y equals mx plus b. That means that for me to be able to graph this the way that we've been graphing, I need to get y by itself. So what I'm going to be doing here, even though there's an x, even though there's another variable, what I'm doing is solving this equation for y. I want to find out what y equals. This is a very different idea than what you're probably used to with equations, but here's what we need to do. There are two things that I need to get rid of. There is a 3x and there is a 2 on the same side of the equation with y. I need both of those things to move to the other side of the equation. I want to move them over here with the negative 8. So here's the way we're going to do this. The 2 is attached to the y. It is a coefficient. If you remember what we did at the beginning of the year, the coefficient is the last thing we do. As a quick example to compare this to, you don't need to write this one down. At the beginning of the year, we did things like this. If I pretended that x wasn't even there, I would have 3 minus 2y equals negative 8, and we said let's subtract 3. And then let's divide by negative 2. So we got rid of the constant, then we got rid of the coefficient. We're going to do the same thing here, except our constant is not a constant. It's a variable x. But I'm still going to do it the exact same way. So here's what you're going to do. Instead of subtracting 3, I'm going to subtract this entire thing. I'm going to subtract 3x on both sides of the equation. On the left side, 3x minus 3x is 0. They cancel. So all I have left is negative 2y. On the right, I want you to notice how this was written. I did not line these things up. The negative 8 is just a number. It's a constant, no variable. 3x is not a constant. It does have a variable. These are not like terms. They will not get combined. I'm going to just leave them separate. So, I'm just going to leave this with a negative 8 minus 3x. I don't actually combine them. Now, normally, the last step would be divide by the coefficient. And that's exactly what we're going to do. But if I divide by negative 2 on the left, I have to divide everything on the right by negative 2. So I'm going to divide negative 8 by negative 2, and I'm going to divide negative 3x by negative 2. This is the part that is going to seem very, very new to most people, so please make sure you have this understood. The negative 2's cancel each other. I have y by itself, which is exactly what I want. Negative 8 divided by negative 2, that's a whole number. That makes positive 4. Here's where things are a little bit strange because of this variable. If I have a negative 3x over negative 2, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move x to the side. And I'm going to say negative 3 over negative 2. Answer, please. What is a negative divided by a negative? So it's going to make this a positive. And does 2 go into 3 evenly? No. So we're going to leave it as a fraction, 3 over 2. This is almost exactly what we wanted. The only thing we need to do is switch these two pieces. So we get y equals 3 over 2x plus 4. This is what we can now graph. We would start at positive 4, we'd go up 3 over 2, just like we were doing in class a moment ago. So this is what I actually end up graphing. So real quick, again, the steps. You move the x term to the other side. You divide everything by the coefficient, and then just put it in order, y equals mx plus b.